Welcome to episode 73 of the Frenemy Sports podcast, episode 2 of season 2. The Joe Thomas podcast, as some are calling it, 73. RIP to Joe Thomas. And Del Petronio, it looks like. Both were linemen that were Hall of Fame careers are going to do nothing. So, nice. That's where my mind went to. Sue me. What? Well, we did nothing with Joe
I don't
Thomas. We
think
did
Joe
nothing with Del
Thomas is
Petronio.
dead.
Well, RIP is, he's not playing anymore.
But he's not dead.
I know he's not dead. But
Say
his career's dead. We killed his career, and he did nothing. And he's a Hall of Famer. That's sad.
When you said that, I thought I missed something.
No, he's alive. I think he's doing great.
Oh man, what Joe, if you somehow hear this, I hope all is well, brother.
We love
Thank you
Joe.
for
Joe's awesome.
Serving a franchise that didn't deserve you for way too long.
No, that's what I was trying to get to.
Oh man.
All right. In the world of sports,
all right. Well,
we just go. We gotta get right to it. The sport of basketball, not college basketball, NBA. Even in March, NBA is still going on. Bam Adebayo, 83 points in a game. I thought when I got a text that he was at 50, I thought it was a joke, or I thought it was like in the fourth quarter. And then you look, it's at halftime. I really wanted to break the record of 100. But I think Kurt, you had your first thoughts on the Bam game.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. What do you do now with the whole Kobe saying? We had this debate at work today. Do I say Bam when I shoot a nice little crumbled paper in the trash can?
It has a good ring
But I
to
mean,
it.
listen, it's Wilt, it's Bam, and then it's Kobe. Those are the top three. It feels weird because not many people would put Bam and Kobe and Wilt's echelon or think that he could be capable of scoring that amount of points, and yet he did. Second all time in the history of the league.
Yeah, no, I would love to congratulate Bam. I never thought Bam Adebayo would be the league's #1 leading scorer in a game ever. I always thought Kobe would kind of hold that title.
Wait,
So having Bam now at 1 is just kind of astonishing. Bam I think is
Was
always
Wilt
viewed as an
killed?
all-star, always a good player. But and on Friday, Bam's going to go out and put up like 14
Objection.
and 7. What are we
Objection.
objecting to?
Objection. So Kobe was actually never #1.
He had
So
81.
how can Bam be #1 when you didn't think? Well, yeah.
Because Bam now has 83, which is more than
paper.
81.
Yeah, we're putting him at second behind Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain? Did you have footage of that game? Do we know that for sure? Was that game past the 70s or no? Are you aware of when the NBA starts
There's
for me?
speculations.
Everything before 1979 does not count as an NBA basketball game. So Bam Adebayo is now
You're a
the
clown.
#1
You're such a clown.
all-time
You are a
leading scorer
clown.
in the NBA within a game.
Interesting.
The thing is, too, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I think Jack, no, Cart, enough. I think I'm just speaking what the people really feel inside. This is what my generation feels. And Jack, I honestly, I'm trying to give a lot of credit to you here because you say some things that maybe aren't popular, but it's deep down what everyone feels, and that's what this game is. No one actually believes the Wilt scored 100 because it didn't happen. Basketball before the 70s didn't really happen. So it's cool to see someone like a Bam Adebayo take over that #1 spot now.
Yeah, Hunter, it's a good point you bring up. I do appreciate that little nod to me saying what
that was a
everybody
great
deep down
argument
feels.
technique.
I'll say two things here.
Pet his ego before speaking to him.
It was really good. It's all about the flattery and then the point. And Hunter, you did a great job there. I'll say two things quickly on this. This kind of reminds me on your take about Bill Russell wouldn't be in the league if he played today, and that blew up. And I thought it would blow up with a bunch of people calling you a moron. And turns out the entire comments on that video are calling Jake Carter and I morons, and they're celebrating your genius, which is quite unfortunate. The second thing I'll say, because I think the video argument is blasphemous. I think it makes no sense. If you needed everything before 1979 to be recorded for you to believe it, my entire moral and ethics code would not exist. So I'm thankful for witnesses and people that confirmed it happened. But nonetheless, 83 points is wild.
Yeah, I live my life based off of evidence, and I believe there's not enough evidence to prove that Bam had 100.
So,
it's based off the shirt. There's more evidence for this than there is for Wilt.
Has a single person that was at that game say that he didn't do it? Has a single person that was at the game say he didn't do it?
Jacob.
Has a single person at that game
old video from the 60s?
You're not answering my question. You're not answering my question.
I frankly don't care. I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Jacob, I
care. That's evidence.
Do you believe it?
That's your whole point. I care about your point, and your point stinks.
No, it's not my whole point because we had film. We had film in the 60s. Jacob, we had film in the 60s. Wow, that game was mysteriously not recorded. Seriously, the finals got lost.
You could go into the NBA, film records where the league wasn't filmed extensively. It wasn't even live until halfway through the Bird and Magic era, if my dates serve.
Yeah, that's when basketball started.
My bigger question is, if you're not so who would you say your top 3 players in NBA history are? And no one object to it. Just let him say his.
I think the consensus is LeBron, MJ, Kareem.
So that's where I have an issue then. If Kareem is in your top 3, yet everything below 79 doesn't count, that is a large chunk of Kareem's career. So what do you do about that situation?
Well, I don't really want to put him in the top 3. But I kind of feel like I have to. I mean, Kareem did have a good career past 79 as well. Probably a great career, to be honest. He had a couple finals MVP, or he had a couple MVPs, won the finals with the Lakers. He was still a very, very exceptional basketball player.
Interesting. That's an interesting take there. I'm not too sure I'm on board. If you want to argue the level of competition that Wilt Chamberlain achieved this
Carter, we have one of the greatest intramural championship games that is about to go on in a couple hours. I would argue both teams on the court would wipe the floor with any team below 65. It wouldn't even be close.
I'm gonna take a stab and say that that's gonna be a tough pill for some people to swallow. But
how is it?
Carter,
hold on. Time out. The amount of times that you and Hunter have gone after me and Jack about this whole evolution of basketball argument, do you really like that you're on his team with what he just said? Are you happy with what team you're on right now?
Whoa.
Also,
again, I say a lot of the things that the people deep down believe, but they're
Is that what you want to align yourself with?
Hold on. No. Listen, on certain issues, absolutely. On this particular one, we've talked about this. There has to be some reverence and respect for the era. It can't be the number one priority. That's where I think Jack's absolutely delusional. Because there is 100% an evolution. If you go watch Bob Cousy play basketball,
as soon as you start this, you lose the entire point. The entire point is the eras were different. Of course, it looks different today than it does back then. As soon as you start that argument, you completely discredit the importance of the eras.
And that's important, but not the number one priority. And that's where you have it as the number one priority. Objectively
no, that's not what I'm saying. But anytime you talk about the evolution of the game, you then completely discredit the eras. You can't talk about evolution and maintain the eras.
That's not true.
It's most certainly true.
No, I can say Michael Jordan was great in his era, and I could say that he played against worse overall players than today. That is 100% fair statement to make. I mean, I don't really know how else to say this besides this sentence where if Kyrie Irving played in the 1950s and they saw some of the dribble moves he was making, if John Stockton played in the 1950s, they would be accusing
that doesn't mean anything.
Witchcraft.
This is exactly my point. This means you're discrediting the eras. Of course, it looks different today than it did 60 years ago.
Bob Cousy or Kyrie Irving?
See,
Carter. Who's better? Who's better?
This is very simply from you a logical fallacy. You don't even understand the comparison. You can't compare them because they played 50 years apart. That's why you have to look at how they played against their era, because that's the way basketball was played then.
So if you can't compare them, then there is no go.
You compare them by their eras. It's very simple. You compare how they did against their era. That's how you do it.
And that's why it gets so special when a transcendent player comes.
Does LeBron
that transcendent player then changes into the next era. That's why Steph's the transcendent player from the previous era into what we are now. That's right, transcendent. You change
Exactly
the eras, what they're being compared to. Phenomenal point by you, Jackson.
Yeah,
Hunter's an idiot.
So hold on. I
Thank you,
have
Jacob.
a problem with that because
well, Jacob, the sad thing is these two don't even understand what we're saying. That just went over both their heads.
Nope.
Not a single
I
thing.
understand what you're saying. You have to compare.
No, you don't, because every time you
era.
bring this up, every single time you bring this up, you mischaracterize what Jake and I are saying, which
we can
further proves that you
understand
guys
and not
don't understand what we're talking about when we're talking
Oh my
about
God.
eras.
Jackson,
But you're not
understand
even
what
understanding
saying. I think
what we're
it's stupid.
saying. That's
Nope.
the
No, I
problem.
think it's stupid. I think it's really dumb. That's why I don't agree with it. We understand your point you're making. I think it's really stupid.
What you're saying.
But you have no idea. You have no idea what we're saying.
Yes, I do. You have to compare how Michael Jordan was in his era compared to LeBron and the GOAT debate.
And then you immediately go Bob Cousy or Kyrie Irving. Well, you would compare them against their era.
Then I am making the statement that regardless of era, if you take Kyrie Irving versus Bob Cousy, Kyrie Irving is 10 times the player Bob Cousy is, but you can't dismiss Bob Cousy's
But that's not
career
relevant to
because
our
of the era he
conversation.
plays in. That's where
That's not relevant to the conversation.
Jake, again, this is why we can't have the conversation because they don't know what the two of us are saying.
50s players.
No doubt.
It is relevant to the conversation.
No, you're completely mischaracterizing what we're saying.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is intrinsically harder today to score 83 points than it was in that era.
Oh my gosh.
That is what I'm saying. Because the level of play is so much higher. A pin down in the 1950s, Jacob? Come on. No. We're not.
Wait,
this is stupid. This is dumb. This is dumb because I understand.
You two don't understand what Jake and I are saying.
You're not going to railroad me and Hunter off the argument here.
You're not even on the argument. We don't need a railroad.
Carter, we just don't get it.
Wait, hold on, Carter. I would disagree with. Hold on, Carter. I would disagree with that with evidence. Our past two players that have scored that many points were more current players. Back then, it was Wilt, and who else put up a lot of points, like above 80? Can you name one?
Who looked like Wilt? Name one player that looked like Wilt in the league. Name
Bill
one.
Russell.
Name one.
Bill Russell.
Not even close.
Bill Russell.
Not even close. Wilt Chamberlain was nope. Bill Russell was 6'9",
Wilt Chamberlain was like
260 some pounds. Wilt Chamberlain was 7 foot, 7'1" by all accounts. If you're gonna believe the 100-point count, which I do, you got to believe the story of his bench pressing, his jumping ability. He was a transcendent athlete, just like Curry was a transcendent shooter. That, by the way, if you go back and look, he was horrible in the late 2010s. Curry was bad. Like it was to the point where we play Monte Ellis, and then they transcend. And so that's what I'm trying to say here is the statement that the average player today is better than the 1950s does not discredit any of those players. That's where I disagree with Hunter. You don't discredit the career because of that, but you have to acknowledge it. It's a fact that exists. And if we don't acknowledge it, we just agreed to
that. We just agreed to that.
No,
we just
not
said yes
him.
to that.
He just called me stupid.
Yes, he did.
No, I just agreed. Okay, so Jake, here's the problem. We're not listening to us.
And so
you
that's
and I
fine.
we just
can have the
acknowledged that
conversation.
Kyrie Irving is 50 times the player Bob Cousy was. Is because they played in different eras.
That's not. But we're not arguing that. We're arguing whether he just said it's not harder to score. See, so you just changed the argument, and now you're trying to flip my words against me to frustrate me. And it's just not going to work. Don't complain to Jake. It's not Jake that's doing it.
I'm not complaining to him. I'm asking.
Jake makes a fair point.
I'm not complaining.
But
I'm not
saying
complaining
the
to
game.
him. I don't really care what you're saying right now. I'm talking to Jake to make sure that him and I are on the same page here.
Then why are we?
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to talk to Jake right now, but you're interrupting. Jake, you and I are on the same page here.
I am so unbelievably lost now. I thought I knew what we were arguing about, but now I'm kind of confused. Me and Jack are very aligned on this. I think.
Jake,
I'm pretty sure we both said that Kyrie Irving's much better than the current day players would wipe the floor with a lot of the old.
Yeah,
players.
that was stated.
We agree with that.
And then Carter said that I never
That's all we're
agreed to
saying.
that.
And that's all we're saying.
That was stated.
And you have to hold.
Jackson,
yes, it is. Yeah,
that
yes,
was stated.
It literally
and then I asked
is.
about competition. Yeah, that negates competition, though. Does it not?
What does that even mean?
I'm saying the LeBron's competition right now compared to who he's playing.
Gosh, here we go.
Okay,
How can we bring LeBron
this is how we're not going to see.
Wait,
We're never going to see eye to eye on this.
Hold on. That's unfair.
We
Hold
believe
on.
in two fundamentally different things. How's that unfair?
I get 30. That's an unfair argument because that goes both ways. If his competition's harder, but LeBron's also a better player because you evolutionize, so they're both going up. So you can't have it both ways. You can having LeBron's facing tougher competition. LeBron's also getting a lot better too. Both are evolutionizing at the same time.
Jacob, the Warriors team that LeBron played in his prime is the best team of all
Intrinsically,
time.
what you just said is LeBron
the best or second best as MJ's Bulls.
Based on
how in the world did you get there?
So if Michael Jordan's here and LeBron's competition is here and LeBron is here, then LeBron is higher than Michael Jordan. That is
hold on. For what it's worth,
I agree with that in essence, but you can't rate careers off this because Jordan played in this era. So that's where I understand where you guys are from.
One more time.
I'm trying to agree, but to just completely, if Michael Jordan is here, and the average player today skill level is up here because it's just the truth.
Yeah.
And LeBron is here. Then is what you're just saying. LeBron is intrinsically better than Michael Jordan, but you can't compare that. This is where me and Hunter disagree. Whatever.
Wrong word.
This is where me and Hunter disagree. Is Hunter thinks that just because there's this gap, LeBron is now the GOAT. That's Hunter's argument, right, Hunter? I'm not putting words in your mouth.
Yes.
So that's Hunter's argument. My argument is that's part of it. That's part of it. But you also have to account for the fact the era they played in. There's where that weight comes in, and what their resume looks like, and what they're doing in the context of the league. That is my point.
Yeah.
And Jack
I agree.
vehemently
I fully agree with that
disagrees
point.
with that. Jack is the complete opposite of.
No, he
that's
doesn't.
all I'm trying to say. And instead
I don't
of getting
speak for Jackson,
my
but I think that we're on the same
confused,
page here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. As I have for the last 10 minutes.
Because when we talk about that context that I just talked about, you have some players that are just
well, you did use the wrong word. You said intrinsically when you should have said extrinsically.
Top 5, Curry being in your top 6.
When have I ever put Pete Maravich in my top 5?
Curry?
Okay.
You just complained about me putting words in your mouth, and you just claimed that I put.
You argued that at the rec. You argued that at the rec. You argued that at the rec with the refs, and you said the refs were right. You said the refs no ball. You were defending them. You were defending the refs. I was saying that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and you were defending the refs. Don't do this. You were absolutely agreeing with the refs, whether you want to put Pete at 5 or not. You already and you have Steph over him anyway.
Defending them.
I hate to interrupt, but is Hunter red as a tomato in anyone else's screen?
Yes.
Yes.
And I love it.
I mean, that's phenomenal.
Fire. It's awesome.
I mean, I love that.
We can move on.
Clearly,
got enough
we're all for it. We're never going to agree on this, so I think we should keep it pushing.
Well, I think we did. I just think you misunderstood everything, but that's okay.
God. Oh my God.
Hey, let's move on.
No.
Let's move on.
That's not going to be the last word. You did that last episode too. You're trying to get the last word and throw some bullshit in there. That's not happening.
Talk to Jake.
Jacob, you're going to move on.
Jake agreed with me.
No, Jacob, you're going to move on, and Jack's going to stop talking.
Jake said that I'm going to move on.
Jake
I just said that.
Jacob, go. Jacob, move on, please.
I'm trying to move on.
You guys get so angry, and I don't understand it.
Jacob, please move on.
Let's stay on basketball. MAC tournament started today, and this is going to be relevant leading to our conversation. I'm walking to the arena, and to see UMass beating Miami with 2 minutes left, they end up holding on. Miami, after doing all that work to go undefeated, 31-0, loses to UMass, who barely snuck in the tournament. Whose head coach, by the way, was Frank Martin, the old South Carolina head coach from 8 to 9 years ago from the tournament. Anyway, we're gonna get to Miami. I really did. We get to Miami, but I want to go my little tirade. BG Falcons had a wide open opportunity to play UMass to then go to the MAC championship. We haven't won a MAC tournament ever. We got absolutely hosed at the end of the game. Go watch it. We then missed a layup by half an inch. Heartbreaking. But to Miami. Undefeated regular season, losing the first round to UMass. Should they be in? Carter hit.
I'll take this one.
Oh, Jack O'Neal.
I got it. Nope, I'll take this one. Absolutely not. You see that? You see that little Little paw print right there. Absolutely not. No one was happier than me in the teacher's lounge today watching Miami lose to UMass. It was an awesome feeling, indescribable. I was so happy. No, I said last episode that one of my best traits is my pure objectiveness. Okay, I'm incredibly unbiased. Not today. Miami should not be in the tournament. Watching them lose was great. I had to watch them play at OU. Hunter and Jake came for the game. And let me just say something. Classless team, classless coach, classless players. I hope we get Skaljak on the pod. I would love to talk to him. I don't know if I should say this, but the OU students were throwing stuff onto the court. Not going to condemn it. It was disrespectful what Miami did, and I think there is something to defending your home court, defending where you play, defending the convo. So I'm proud of my Bobcats. They're playing Kent State right now. They're in a near tie game as we get towards halftime. Hopefully they pull that out. But no, Miami should not be in the tournament. That team's played nobody all year. They played the MAC. Their best win's Akron. They have no signature wins. They have no talent on that team. Should not be in the tournament. Congrats, UMass.
Can I ask a follow-up? Just a quick follow-up, Jackson, like a 30-second answer? So you mentioned that they shouldn't be in the tournament. What would you
100%.
say you think strength of schedule is number one for that? Or what's the number one criteria? Is it no
I don't even
quality
care.
games?
I just
Okay.
I'll give
Would
I'll
you
give
describe it
you
as
10
a feel
seconds.
thing?
I don't. It's absolutely a feel thing. It's one of those, I don't want Miami in the tournament. Therefore, Miami should not be in the tournament. That's as simple as I'll make it.
Can I ask one more follow-up to Jack? Just real quickly. Would this be bad for college basketball, do you think?
This would be fantastic for college basketball if Miami's left out. It would be bad for college basketball if Miami's in the tournament.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted.
Go.
Okay, go ahead.
Unless, Jake, you got something you would like to say?
I'm quick.
I'm a little bit more in the middle of the road here. Yeah, go for it.
I also hate Miami. I think they are the most pretentious, stuck-up university in the MAC, and those players represent that university perfectly. I will give them that. They represent that university to a T. I was going to say. But the thing is, not a single other bubble team is winning games right now. No one wants to make the tournament.
Yeah.
Indiana loses to Northwestern.
Yeah.
Auburn allows a 19-0 run and loses to Tennessee. No one was winning.
The Ohio
Miami's
State
going to backdoor
Buckeyes got it
themselves
done.
into. But the Buckeyes aren't in a bubble team now. The Buckeyes are going to be like possibly even high as a 7 seed, depending on how many games they end up winning. Because no one's winning basketball games right now. It's complete chaos. We're going to end up having some of the worst 8 through 16 seeds we've had in a while. I wouldn't be shocked if there's not a ton of upsets, because there's not a ton of great teams making the tournament this year. But I do think Miami's going to make it.
As a dude who was planning on betting all underdogs,
I would say Jacob, no. I think I'm going to say this now.
Dogs barking in March.
This could be the year that all 1 seeds make the Final Four.
Jacob. Oh. Jacob,
did that just happen?
Yeah, it happened a little bit. I think it may happen again.
Too, I think.
Well, last year was Duke, Houston, Florida, and who was the other team? Duke, Houston, Florida. Who was the other Final Four team?
I'm not blanking right now.
Duke beat Houston. Florida beat. Who did Florida beat in the Final Four? I'm sorry, Houston beat Duke, but who did Florida beat in the Final Four? Was it that unmemorable?
I'm watching in my head, but I forget the team. That's gonna bother me. Someone look it up.
Auburn.
That's right. And speaking of Auburn, can I give a hot take?
Go for it.
I love these.
So, it's a simple hot take. I just think Steven Pearl looks just like David Schwimmer. Thoughts?
Interesting. Don't hate.
I don't hate that at all. What I lose it is he looked nothing like Bruce. Like nothing at all like Bruce Pearl.
Jacob.
Curtis, so you middle of the road, Miami? Oh, sorry, Hunter, go on.
So real quickly,
Hunter, you go first because I think
let me ask Jacob. Well, let me ask Jacob a question. Do you think if Miami doesn't make it, is that bad for college basketball?
See, this should put me in a pickle because I do hate Miami, and I think if the country knew how Miami acts just as a school, university, and college basketball team, I think they'd be like, oh, this is not the team you thought it was, and they'd be opposed to it. However, you go undefeated in the regular season, you should make the tournament. So I think, yes, I think they should make it. I think that should, if you win, if you go undefeated, you have to be in. As much as I dislike that.
And I think that's the biggest reason why I would say they're in, even though they did lose to UMass. Going 32 or 31-0 in the regular season is unheard of. I don't care if you're playing like Division 6 schools. Like going 32-0, winning 32 straight games against Division 1 schools is incredibly, incredibly hard. And I think that's probably my biggest reason why they should most certainly be in.
Can I make a counterpoint?
Yeah.
I just don't think they should be in.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Mr.
Hip,
bring us home, C-Hip.
I'm in the middle of the road here, and I'm gonna take the next couple of days, see how the conference tournament plays out, and then obviously we won't have an episode coming out until hopefully the beginning of next week after brackets are released. But before brackets, I'll make sure to text you guys my official side of the road. I just think it's hard because on the one hand, they are 31 wins, if I'm not mistaken, 31-1. Obviously, no one likes losing to UMass, but you have 31 wins. On the other hand, I went down their schedule today. Man, some freaking nail biters with teams that aren't very good.
Well, yeah, they've won like 50 close games today.
And the other part of this is like Jack was mentioning. I don't know why I just called you Luke. I played with Luke Scaljak. That's why I called you Luke. And been on the court, talk with him off the court too. Like, dude's a bucket. He's good. You just, there's no way around it, and they're good players. But I think the most interesting realization I had, and you guys feel free to comment on this. I was watching the game, I forget what game it was that they were playing, but it was with my cousin, Gavin. And we were talking about it, and he likes them. He thinks they should be in because they won or whatever. And then you go and talk to someone else, one of your friends that you play basketball with or whatever, and he hates Miami like you guys do, like just can't stand them. And it almost feels like this is what it had to have felt like to watch like the mid-major version of like Duke with like Christian Laettner and JJ Redick. And I don't know if this is a crazy take, but I feel like if Peter Suter, hopefully that's how you pronounce his name, I probably butchered it, if he was at a bigger university like a Duke, he might be the most hated player in the country by some, or the most loved player in the country by others.
Yeah,
is that a crazy shout to say?
No, that's a
crazy shout is to compare Miami to Christian Laettner Duke.
Well,
I think he's talking about the personality,
but you don't listen, so that's cool.
I don't care either way. I don't think you make a comparison to Duke.
The mid-major Duke. That's not a crazy take to say.
Who's getting rated right now?
That would probably be my roommates playing Fortnite on their iPad.
They love that.
Tough look for them. They do. Maybe one day we'll have the budget for a nice studio. But I mean that
speak for yourself.
That is essentially what they do. They
Jack's in a high scale Manhattan apartment right now.
That is essentially what they do, though. They beat everyone in mid-major basketball, and they do so with a swagger and a bravado that some people love and others absolutely can't stand.
Don't know if swagger's the right word.
Can I also bring up...
What would you like to use?
Arrogance?
Go ahead, Jake.
We also...
arrogance is good.
I don't know. You probably didn't see this, but they released like the MAC like players of the year, defense player of the year, like all that stuff. MAC player of the year. I'm gonna read you the stats of the winner. Okay, 14.8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Okay. Another player was 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Carter, who did you like out of those two? Number 1 or number 2?
Number 1 is, if I'm not mistaken, Peter. And
You're
number 2
right.
is Johnson from Akron, I think, if I'm not
Correct.
mistaken.
And just because Miami went on this undefeated run and this just stuck up attitude, they give it to Suter, and it should not have been close.
You see it all the time with awards,
unfortunately.
It's
Stuff like
MVP's
that
the
I think
thing.
it's me and Jack so angry about a team like Miami because they're getting stuff they do not deserve. And that's what's infuriating.
And so I guess that's why that's part of the reason I'm still in the middle of the road too, is like I said, they beat all these teams by a buzzer beater, 2 points. Teams that, like, if a good quality tournament team, are we serious?
Sorry. I'm playing with it.
Just middle of the point. Like,
sorry, keep going.
I mean, for all of you who aren't on YouTube watching this, I'm in the middle of my spiel leading to a question for them to answer, and Hunter pulls up this Pillsbury Doughboy looking thing, and you heard it, and hopefully you didn't just immediately shut off your phone and throw it out the car like I would have. But hopefully you're still listening to this after that. But anyway, as I was trying to say, like, if some other bubble team had a couple, like, some of their wins were a 2-point win on the road against Toledo or something like that, like, is that, like, woohoo, quality? No. So, I don't know. We'll see what the other bubble teams end up doing. Like Jacob said, a lot of them were losing today. I was trying to keep tabs at work, watching the Big Ten, but we'll see.
How does it make you feel to know that Ohio University was probably 1 inch away, literally probably legitimately 1 inch from legitimately knocking Miami out of the tournament? I mean, they lose to you guys, they lose to UMass, they're out.
I know. It hurts. I mean, you saw my reaction when that game ended. It hurts. That's probably the last game I'll ever watch the Convo, so it sucks.
All right. Jacob, what do we got next?
Where'd you guys like to go? We can go. Can we? I think we'll address the WBC really quick here. I think just the main topic is going to be, how not just the manager, but how no one else in part of our staff or players couldn't figure out that no, we were not in. We needed to win. Not a single person figured that out. For an organization that probably has billions and billions of dollars invested into it, boggles my mind. I will give credit where credit's due.
The fact that oh my gosh.
He said hand up might be, which I guess I'll take. At least he took responsibility in his post-game interview.
How do you not know that? I don't understand how you don't know that. I mean, that is pathetic.
It's one. There's no even further words to add. It's just mind-boggling.
You guys summed up with that. I would be absolutely remiss if we didn't mention something about the Dominicans. They are so fun to watch, baby. They just hit nukes and just emote. All their edits. I know I'm American, and I want the Americans to win.
Can you remove him?
But when they're just blasting this and their dugout.
Jacob, can you remove him, please? You should be ashamed of yourself. Look at a rat's ass.
You guys. They play baseball just the right way. They just hit tanks. It's a party. The people in the crowds, they're waving the flag. It's awesome. How do you guys not like it? I know. I understand. When the Americans play them, obviously I want the Americans to win. I'm an American. But, dude, the Dominicans, bro, they're just fun. They're just objectively fun to watch. And honestly, this brings me to my broader point that I just want to make real quick before all the objections come in. The MLB needs to watch what they're doing with, like, the celebrating and the fan engagement and implement that into their game. That's what our generation and younger
Well,
kids.
no, because that would lead Jax all over the world.
Jackie's not gonna like that point.
It's America's pastime.
I can dismiss it. I can dismiss it because what Carter just did. Carter, you're the type of guy that pretends he enjoyed Bad Bunny's halftime show.
Well, so quick problem here.
Which I'll say on record. I'll say on record, worst halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl, and it's not even remotely close.
So I disagree with that. There were definitely some.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I do. I don't think it was the greatest thing ever, but it was definitely
not a single person in North America understood what was happening.
So that's not true.
That's absolutely true.
No. Do you know what the second largest?
Give me a break. I don't care. You think there's a bunch of Spanish-speaking Seahawks and Patriots fans? You think New England is full of people just listening to Bad Bunny?
Jacob, okay. Let's move on here.
So we're close to a Matthew.
I don't know what to move on. I think Carter's still midpoint.
And Timothy,
I don't want to hear any more points.
Chalamet canceling himself right now. But
how am I canceling? The majority of people agree with me because they couldn't understand what was being said, and you had people like you just.
Because it's good music. First,
it's not. You don't even know what he's saying. You don't have the slightest idea what he's saying. So how could you say it's good music?
Hold on. Jackson, did you see Bad Bunny's response before the Super Bowl to?
I couldn't care less.
So
did you read the lyrics of that music? Do you know the words that he's singing? First off, you don't. But second off, if you read the lyrics, it's appalling.
Listen real quick, Jackson. Bad Bunny. No, Carter, let me finish. Bad Bunny said. You don't need to know the lyrics. You just need to learn how to shake your hips.
Oh gosh.
Would you agree with that?
What have we done? What have we done as a country? We have good musicians. The rest of the world, I would have been fine if you brought in someone from Europe or bring in U2 from Canada. Bring in Elton John back in the day. I don't care. Give me the Beatles back then. Play good music. What we watched on Super Bowl Sunday was degenerate filth.
I will say, because we do speak the truth in this podcast, according to the internet, 75% of people did like the show. So
wrong.
You could say that's wrong, but that is what was. I'm looking at my screen.
You polled every single person that watched the Super Bowl. You polled everybody, and 75% of everybody who watched the Super Bowl said, "Yeah, fantastic."
Is that what I said? You made a point that no one liked it. I provided an actual factual point of a poll was done. 75% liked it. That's a fact.
No.
So how back to Dominican baseball? Carter, I don't know where you're going to go.
I got a bunch of things I can address now, but I'd just like to finish my point, hopefully without interruption. So a couple things. Number one, Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican. I don't think he's from the Dominican Republic, if my knowledge is correct. Number two, I am under the impression that I can maybe learn Spanish one day, so I actually have been studying. So I knew some of the lyrics. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of some of the lyrics, but that doesn't mean it's bad music. They're good beats. You can enjoy. It doesn't need to be something you clearly understand or because you don't speak the language. Also, Bad Bunny won a bunch of music awards. So to say no one likes him and then suggest that we should bring someone
Okay, no, I'm so glad you brought this up. I'm so glad you brought this up. I'm so glad you brought this up. I'm so glad you brought this up.
That's good.
Back to the music awards.
You got it.
Are we going to pretend like it's not a bunch of pedophiles winning these awards? Pedophiles giving out the awards. I mean, that's how it's been in American culture for the last 20 years.
That's good.
So if that's what you want to go with, by all means. Like if we want to pretend that good, prestigious people are handing out these awards, by all means, if that's your argument.
Frenemies sports. Frenemies sports.
Let me just go ahead and finish.
Please get back to the WBC so we can talk about sports.
Yes, I am. The Dominican baseball team is just objectively fun to watch. They are. They're very good. They make incredible plays. Back-to-back backhanded picks by Machado. Don't know if you guys saw that. If you haven't, go look it up because it is an incredible display of defensive baseball. And then they hit nukes and they know they're good and they celebrate. And that's what people like to see. No one likes to watch robots go up there, hit a bomb, do nothing, not the emotion. That's what drives sports. And I think it's awesome. and the league's best players right now are on the Dominican Republic and the United States of America. I'm hoping the United States can figure out whatever coaching situation they have going on, because like you guys touched on, not knowing those details is just incredibly bad, especially for a country that funds so much into their sports. And I just hope we see that in the final, because that'll be the best display of baseball that the world can provide. And the last, tune in, guys. Next Wednesday, Jack O'Neill Politics. It premieres. You can get all those takes that he just displayed for the last 3 minutes that say nothing about sports.
Nothing I said was political.
Right. So you guys just go tune into that.
You were talking about a musician winning awards.
Hey, Jacob, let's move on here.
That's not.
Don't worry. Next Tuesday, Pop Culture with Carter.
You brought him up. So
let's do next week. How about we do an episode where Carter teaches our audience how to speak Spanish?
Please.
Sunday.
No. Please do not tune in on Sunday or Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever those shows are being filmed. Please don't tune in. Hunter, can you take the wheel just for like 20 seconds and take us to a different topic? I don't care where we go.
Yeah, should we go to the W?
NFL free agency.
I'm sorry, are you Hunter?
Hunter, I want you to guide us here. Where do you want to go?
There's not much. Yeah, there's not much to touch on with the W. So I guess we can go to NFL free agency. What happened in NFL free agency? The Ravens pulled in illegal. That literally should be illegal what the Ravens did. What else? The Browns signed a line. That's going to be nice. It's going to be really fun to see in September when the whole line just turns to shit, because that's just what happens when you put a Browns uniform on. Shadur, QB1. What else happened? Anything else good? That was really my 3 main takeaways.
Right before we started, Kyler Murray did in fact sign a 1-year deal with the Vikings.
That's going to be a fun camp.
Thank goodness.
Thoughts on the Max Crosby situation?
That legit should be illegal.
The Ravens have been getting away, them and Pittsburgh have been getting away with stuff like this for so many years, where they just get to do what they want and the NFL does nothing, and it is absolutely infuriating. And everyone notices it. Even GMs are coming out and saying this is horrible. This was they orchestrated this purposely, and it's so.
Oh, for sure.
It's
I'm
so
not gonna lie.
They should not be getting these. If the Browns pulled this stuff, we would lose all of our draft capital for the next 5 years.
Oh no, Carter, it's not confusing. It's not confusing at all. The Ravens wanted Max Crosby. They gave up a shit ton of capital to get him. They then realized, oh shit, we can get Trey Hendrickson without giving up 2 first-round picks. So they pulled some BS and essentially said his physical didn't pass, which is just blatantly not true.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Max Crosby's agent.
It's
just illegal.
Confusing that we don't have a body or a board or a commissioner that does anything. That's why I'm confused.
Oh well, because Roger's pathetic. He is a scam. The NFL's a scam. It's Roger and his cronies to make as much money for themselves as possible and to screw all the watchers. Also, their excuse was they wanted to sign both players, which wouldn't even be possible. They didn't have the cap space to afford 2 $30 to $40 million contracts for edge rushers. But nothing will happen. Not a single thing will happen, I guarantee it.
No. Jack, any thoughts?
I was disappointed that the Browns didn't sign Malik Willis. I thought the Dolphins got him for a steal. Great signing by the Dolphins. I'll say this too. My least favorite head coach in the NFL, he resides in Atlanta. And I found it awfully funny that they went out and they got another very short, undersized, underwhelming left-handed quarterback. So I'm very excited to see the Atlanta Falcons debacle this year. Other big signings, I mean, I completely agree with what the two of you said about the Ravens. It's completely disastrous, disingenuous for the league. Roger Goodell, we've all been saying this for a long time, should probably be in prison. It's only fitting that, it's only fitting that the organization that Art Modell brought to Baltimore is still doing these things. Only fitting.
Yeah.
Aside from that, there's not been like a big move this offseason that's really blown me away. I'm still waiting for that first blockbuster trade. I don't think there's a blockbuster signing. I think the blockbuster move probably is the Ravens.
A.J. Brown.
You think he gets traded?
In June?
I mean, he could. It wouldn't shock. I'm saying like that wouldn't shock me though. Like that writing's been on the wall for the last 2 seasons. I'm talking like an out of nowhere shock that nobody sees coming. That's what I'm waiting to see.
There's always one of those in off season. It feels like.
I think when we get closer to the draft and people start to understand what they want to do, I think we'll see more moves. Kenneth Walker, the Chiefs, was a big one that kind of started things out.
Yeah,
I think that means that Jeremiah Love's going to go a lot higher than people are, I think, believe. Because the Chiefs picked 9 and didn't think they were able to grab him.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I have a very, and like we're not specifically a Cleveland sports, but we do talk about the Browns a good amount. I have a horrendous feeling we're going to take a quarterback at 6.
Oh, can we take this next 5 minutes to talk about the Browns? Can we? I think we should do that.
I would love to. Jacob, it is our podcast. We do what we want.
That is very true. Chris Sarkar, what you think? So is it Simpson?
Ty Simpson.
God, I hope not. He's been included in my nightly prayers. And listen, I hope no disrespect to Ty, but I just don't know how you can look at his body of work in college and be like, yes, he's the 6th overall pick. But we signed linemen, so I don't feel like we're going to take a lineman unless we do.
We could still take Francis at 6 to fill our tackle spot.
We need one more,
for sure.
And I could see that, but I also just feel like I could see the Browns being like, oh well, we got 4 solid ones, so we'll just hide them somewhere because that works in the NFL. And then they take a receiver. I could see. I just feel like our options have shifted from like lineman receiver to like receiver quarterback. Dare I even say venturing into the Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs region if Jock's not in there. And that may be delusional to think, but the Browns have shown a history of just we ball, you know what I mean? Like just whatever.
I cannot wait for the Cleveland Browns to take Ty Simpson at 6 and then Skylar Bell at 24. I think that's what's going to happen. I cannot wait for it to happen.
Or Casey Concepcion at 24. Great story.
Oh my gosh, I'd lose my mind. Remember, Adam Bull thought he was an offensive lineman.
That will be horrible. That would actually be one of the worst experiences in my sports.
Okay, I have a question.
You see Skylar Bell at 24?
I'm saying this is not what I hope happens. I'm saying I'm ready for the Browns to take Ty Simpson at 6 and Bell at 24.
I think Bell is projected like 3rd round. I love Bell as a 3rd round pick. I don't like.
Do you love him at 24?
No, I don't.
Well,
I like him at 94.
Get ready.
No, I don't want to get ready for that. That sounds horrible.
I have a question. I wish I could help you.
I think the biggest issue would be we are going to take Casey, who is legit just he's just fast.
No, it's 24.
No, we'll take Casey's at 20. I think we take Freeling.
I do like Monroe Freeling a lot. I would be very happy with that pick. No, so I got to ask, just because I've been seeing it on my Twitter a little bit, at number 6, the Browns select Caleb Downs. Out of 1 to 10, what is your skepticism to hope ratio?
So that doesn't really make sense as a question. 1 to 10.
Can you just answer it? Can you just answer it? I feel like that's extremely.
Hunter, it makes perfect sense. I'm about a 7 because I think Caleb Downs is a surefire as a prospect as they come. But does that help the offense score points? No, and that's what's desperately needed on the team.
Yeah.
I think that's why I would go 6. Because I think we could get the same. Because I think Carnell Tate is also such a safe pick at a position of need, which I love Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
If we were Cincinnati, it'd be phenomenal. But I also think if we pick Tate, if we address other issues before the draft and then we pick Downs at 6, then it's fine. But I doubt we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm extremely nervous about we are getting closer and closer to Durr is going to be the starting quarterback next year, and that's worst case scenario. None of these moves matter if he's the quarterback. We could be prime Chiefs, prime Patriots, prime anyone, and if you have Shedeur back there, we're going to win a max of 6 games.
Yeah, and it sounds like Carter's in Shedeur's house right now.
That is coming from my house. I mute myself.
That is really loud. It's probably Nolan getting ready for the Armero game. It's okay.
Do you think Shedeur's up there?
I want to get excited about these Brown signings, which I really am. I love that we're signing Landman. If Shedeur Sanders the quarterback next year, we're screwed. I would take.
Yeah, there's just no point.
What about okay? I still think it's very realistic to see AR anyone else if we traded for Anthony Richardson. Are you more optimistic with Anthony Richardson?
That's fine, but again, I would rather have that. I would rather have that
right now, to be honest.
Well, yeah. Jackson, we have to play in the ball. We have to play with the toys we were given. We're in our ball.
I would rather have.
Right, we have our toys are the Shedeur toy, the Ty Simpson toy, and the Anthony Richardson toy. Out of those 3 toys, I'm grabbing the Richardson toy. Because if I touch the Shedeur toy, I know I'm not gonna have fun with it. If I take the Simpson toy, we're just gonna sit there and stare at each other. If I grab the Richardson toy, at least I'll have some hope that we're gonna, go somewhere in this ball pit.
Yeah, because the Richardson toy is kind of like, it's like one of those elaborate Nerf guns from back in the day. Like, it can shoot fast and it can shoot far, but then it also breaks very easily.
Yes, it will inevitably jam.
I like that. I like that comparison a lot. Well, okay, so what other options do we have, though? I don't know if we have other options.
Jake, say it with me.
There's been zero. There's been zero
McCorkle Jones. Oh my gosh, please! I would trade the 2nd round pick for McCorkle Jones.
Can I say something insane?
Say it. I want to hear it.
I'd trade 24. I would trade 24 for him right now.
I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I don't hate it. Because we probably get McCorkle, and we probably get a pick or a player.
Mm-hmm.
I would take that.
Carter, can you imagine if we traded pick 24 for Mac Jones?
Well, who would you rather have, Mac Jones or Casey Concepcion?
I'd rather have, given circumstance, Casey Concepcion at 24, and then get Anthony Richardson for 6 or 5th.
And then just win 4 games. Have the 5th pick.
Sam Darnold has ruined the league. 24th for Sam Darnold or for Mac Jones because Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl. Oh my god!
For what it's worth, we've been saying this before the Super Bowl.
I've been saying this forever.
This is true.
These type of players
I think
can win.
Mac Jones
and guess what, Carter? We haven't done a ton of winning. Look, in a perfect scenario, we take Mendoza at 1. But that's not the scenario we live in.
This is what I'm telling you.
We have to address the world we live in.
As I have no argument. No, I have no argument against you. I have no argument against you now. Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl, so I can't say anything. And it's unfortunate that I can't, but I can't.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, to be quite honest. I just think Mac Jones is a good football player, and I want him on my roster.
Oh,
if you take Mac Jones, essentially is just you taking a quarterback in the 1st round this year. Just him being, what is he, 25?
100%. 100%.
It was the same logic as the Malik Willis deal. It's essentially you're drafting someone that just has 3 years of experience. That's all we're doing.
Tremendous take.
We have seen.
If we get Anthony Richardson,
good golly, we've seen everybody fail. Everybody's failed.
Getting Malik Willis is completely different than trading a 1st for Mac Jones.
Now,
yeah, it's completely.
We can trade a 2nd for Mac Jones.
It's not even remotely the same scenario.
Oh my god, we'll do a 2nd for Mac Jones.
Yeah, well,
also, with the Malik Willis thing, that would have been my preferential option. I would have preferred Malik Willis, but we don't live in a reality where that's an option. So
exactly,
get yourself Mac Jones.
Me and Jack, we're living in the world that was made for us. Hunter, I feel like you're living in La La Land.
The real world.
Do I love that our best option is Mac Jones? No.
2nd round pick for Mac Jones. Can you imagine the uproar?
First.
Could
First,
you
That's
imagine
not
the
that crazy.
uproar
A
of
second round
like?
pick for
I
Mac
legit
Jones.
think we would be
We address our
being
quarterback
laughed
issue
at.
with a second round pick.
for what it's worth,
All right.
Josh Rosen went for a second.
I have one last question before we wrap it up here. Is there a worse QB situation than the Browns in the NFL?
No, not even close. No.
I don't think the Jets are up there.
Who do the Jets have? Who's in their QB? Well, they just got what? Geno.
They have Geno. I think they have someone else.
They have still Fields. What about Fields? Is Fields
No,
still
Fields is
open?
gone.
I would love Fields. Who's he with?
I just think he's bad. I think it stinks. He's a great person. I just think he stinks at football.
I don't think Fields is a
really
horrible option though, given the circumstance.
Look, again, if it's anyone
he'll
except
start
Shedeur,
for us week
that's the
15
better
or
option.
17.
Correct.
Not Dylan Gabriel.
I would disagree with that because Dylan Gabriel was a better quarterback than Shedeur last season.
Jacob.
I would take if any other quarterback is our starting quarterback next year that's not Shedeur, I would be content. I wouldn't necessarily be happy to pick who it is.
If Dylan was starting, you would be content?
We've lost the plot.
I would be more content than if Shedeur was starting, yes.
No, Jacob, I want to hear you say, Jacob, Carter, enough.
Full offseason at one.
Here we go.
Jacob,
we need to see Dylan Gabriel with the whole offseason.
I just want to get this on record. I want to get this on record. I want you to say, I am content with Dylan Gabriel as my starting quarterback. I want to hear you say that.
Well, that's not what I said.
He said over Shedeur Sanders.
This is what you do. Over Shedeur Sanders. In the context of Shadeur's not starting, I'm content. Huh? I would be content with Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders as the starting quarterback next year.
That's how we're ending the episode right there. That's it.
I think the majority of Cleveland fans agree with that, by the way.
From statistically speaking,
he is correct.
What do you mean?
Also, from a non-annoyance in the media perspective, he's also correct. And Jake, can I point out something before we leave this episode?
Please.
When Jake and I have a disagreement with the two of you, we're pretty calm about it. We don't just, how could they ever possibly think that? We don't lose our temper. We don't flail our arms. As soon as Jake and I say something that you two disagree with, it's like, how could they possibly think that? They're morons.
Carter, I got it. Jack, are you forgetting the conversation we had 55 minutes ago? You played the superiority card to the point where we're too dumb to even understand what's coming out of your mouth.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. You guys just don't know what I'm saying. It's not like an intelligence or anything. You're completely mischaracterizing what Jake and I are saying.
Jacob, you can wrap it up with that.
All right. I think great episode.
We're on the doorstep of March, people. We're on the doorstep of March.
We're in March.
We're 6 days of March until it starts.
We're in the middle.
It's not actually March until it starts.
We're in the middle of the month.
It's not actually March until it starts.
If anything, we're through the garage and in the hallway.
We're not actually in March until it starts. We're on the doorstep last weekend. We get there.
That's just not correct.
Days, and then it begins, baby. Let's go.
We're 3 days from our bracket.
It has
our next step
15 days.
3 days from our bracket. We will break down March Madness in our next episode. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later.
Bye. Bye.